Well, it's 2 out of 2 for the West Indies. What do you know? Hello, everyone, and welcome to On Tour. It's the cricket program where we look back at the Australian tour of the West Indies and Barry Wilkinson. The Windies playing a superb game to beat the Australians by 56 runs in Grosley, and they're up in the series. The Aussies now have to win the next 3 consecutive matches if they want to win the series. What a fantastic match. The Windies just getting the energy from the previous night to win back-to-back matches under the leadership of Nicholas Pooran, with the captain Kieron Pollard still injured. Let's go straight to the scorecard. It was kind of deja vu. The Aussies won the toss again, and this time, as usual, they put the West Indies back into bat. 196 for 4, though, the West Indies, not making that lame effort like a couple of nights ago, and of course also like what they would have done against South Africa. This was a fantastic knock from Shimron Hetmyer, who made 61 from 36, 4 sixes and 2 fours, and Dwayne Bravo, for the first time, promoted up the order, making 47. Brilliant partnership between the two. We'll talk about that a bit later on. He actually came not out from 34 balls, 3 sixes and 1 four. Andre Russell, supporting innings there of 24 from 8. He went berserk at one stage, 2 sixes and 2 fours. And earlier, Lendl Simmons, he made 30 from 21, 3 sixes and 1 four. When the Aussies batted, they were always under pressure from the second ball. Matthew Wade went for duck, and it was Mitchell Marsh leading the runs again. He made 54. But other than Henriques, who made 19, none of the other batsmen made any significant contribution. And the bowling again was led by none other than Hayden Walsh Jr., 3 for 29. Sheldon Cottrell coming in 2 for 22, and 1 apiece there to Fidel Edwards, who's now injured, might not play in the series anymore, and Andre Russell and Dwayne Bravo 1 apiece, as well as Chris Gill, who got the last wicket. Well, what a night it was for the West Indies. Fans turned on their television sets on FlowSports to recognise that there was no Obed McCoy, and everyone was going on, what's gone wrong? Where's McCoy? The official word from Dara Bartheley, of course, from Cricket West Indies, is that McCoy was being rested. There was also no Evan Lewis, who has an injury, so that's why he didn't play. But the 2 changes there coming in with Sheldon Cottrell, the nice left-arm quickie, coming into play, and I think many people would have welcomed that. Let's welcome our panel. We've got the 2 T's, Tony and Tino, Gray and Bess, one in black, one in maroon. Gentlemen, welcome to On Tour. Look, let me start first of all with you, Tony Gray. People have sent you millions of messages, you too as well, Tino. We can get to them later on. How did the West Indies impress you, Tony Gray?
Yeah, it impressed me a great deal. To get to 196 for the loss of just 4 wickets against a good bowling attack, a potent bowling attack, a very varied bowling attack with a good effort from the West Indies batsmen. And, Dwayne Bravo and Hetmyer built a huge partnership of 103. And I'll tell you something, we want to see that performance repeated because Hetmyer was at his best. He was balanced in the way he went about getting the 61 and 38 balls, and he was really supported nicely with the experience of Dwayne Bravo. But more than that, I think that we had a good enough start with Simmons doing his job, and then Andre Russell coming and playing the aggressive role that we know he could play. So 196 is a very competitive score. It's not really an unassailable score, but it proved to be too much for the Aussies. So brilliant effort by the West Indies team.
Let's start from the top, Tino. Were you surprised, first of all, to see McCoy rested so early in the series? And secondly, you advocated that Andre Fletcher should come back. Let's look at the contribution he made and if he did anything at all that would have tantalized anyone's taste buds. Those 2 questions, first of all, for you, Tino, best.
Well, first of all, the West Indies played a terrific match, Barry. They hit every aspect of their game with brilliant preciseness. And look, they bowled well, they batted well, and they fielded marvelously. The catching was terrific once again. Maybe one difficult chance by DJ Bravo with a top edge, but that was a tough chance. But look, I advocated for Fletcher to come back in, but it was always going to be very difficult, Barry, being watching the cricket for 4 games. To come back in and to get that momentum that you had in the first 2 games nearly 2 weeks ago against South Africa. So I was hoping that he came off, but he didn't. But West Indies still had a very wonderful platform with Hetmyer and Bravo being promoted, obviously, because I didn't want to see Puran in there too early, or I didn't want to see Andrew Russell in there too early as well. So it was good captaincy and coaching as well by Selen Bravo, who has a lot of experience, who have 4 or 5 T20 international 50s as well. And we know that his batting hasn't come off in recent times, but he batted beautifully. He took his chances, and that's what happens in T20. You've got to be adventurous, and he was terrific. And Hetmyer, oh wow, what can we say about this young man, Barry? He continues to once he continues to stay focused, and cricket is his main goal, and he stays fit, he stays healthy. I think this young man could be one of the best cricketers the West Indies have produced in recent times, and we all know how talented he is. But all in all, Barry, I think West Indies play a brilliant game, and they just hit the ground running, and it's going to be very tough for Australia to come back from this.
You know, Tony, we've often said that this team, or the Australians I'm talking about now, are much stronger in their bowling. This team was significantly weakened without David Warner, without Steve Smith. There's no Labuschagne. So, yeah, look, they came here knowing that the bowling was their strength. But the way Russell batted, the way Hetmyer batted, the way Bravo batted, that must have thrown them off. What is your thoughts on Russell in the end, how he finished, because that's how he usually finishes. Your thoughts on Russell?
Well, he's an instinctive player, and he likes that sort of scenario where you have 5 overs to go or 4 overs to go, where he can express himself, and he expressed himself quite well. I mean, when you have a good foundation laid by Bravo and Hetmyer, then the pressure is off Russell. He doesn't have to think the game too much. And we talk about Russell being promoted. I don't think that he wants the responsibility. I just think that he wants to go out there and play proper cricket shots. Once he play proper cricket shots with the physical strength that he has and the general physicality that he has, I think that he will score runs. So he did his job quite well. And when you look at it, Chris Gayle is the only one, along with Andrew Fletcher, that failed this evening. But the rest of them played their parts well.
I think we're going to have a Chris Gayle segment. So don't get into Chris Gayle yet. We're going to have a segment for Chris Gayle. Tino, the question I wanted to ask you is to add some balance to the conversation. We speak and we tout the Australian bowling lineup. What are they doing wrong? 196 to 4. Does it sound like Stark and Hazelwood was bowling? What did the Aussie bowlers do wrong, Mr. Fast Bowler yourself?
Coming up against a formidable West Indian batting lineup. Listen, once the West Indies click, Barry, we know how devastating they can be. We don't care if Mullitharan is bowling or Shane Warne is bowling. When it comes to T20 cricket, West Indians have the best players on planet Earth. And once they come off, Barry, they will score 190 to 200 every time. And what I love about West Indies, they score those last 4 to 5 overs. They score at least 10 to 12 runs and over. So it's very difficult for any bowling side to restrict them. So, I mean, Andrew Russell, what can we say about Andrew Russell? He hits it. I would love to see him playing baseball one day.
Well, you very well might see him playing baseball one of these days. You never know. Look, we're going to take a break right here on Tour. When we come back, 2 things to analyze. We're going to look, of course, at how the West Indies bowled, and we're going to discuss Chris Gayle, a man who might just be tainting his legacy the longer he continues to play. So some say. We'll come back on Tour. Welcome back then to On Tour. The West Indies winning by 56 runs before Monday's 3rd T20 International. We've got the 2 T's, TB and TG. Thank God it's not Friday. Look, tell me something, Tony Gray. We speak a lot about how the West Indies batted. Let's look at how they bowl now. Fiona Edwards out with the injury. I'll leave Tino to discuss that. But other than that, were you impressed with Cottrell? Were you impressed with Hayden Walsh Jr., who continues to be the leading wicket taker so far for the Windies in this series?
Yeah, I think that when you look at the bowling unit, you have to say that they bowl well together, because you want pressure from both ends. And to get 2 early wickets in the power play is exactly what the West Indies team wanted. We talk about the deficiencies in the batting of the Australians. Quite clearly, they don't have the experience, especially in the middle parts of their batting. But Marsh, again, came well. I think that we have to adjust our attitude towards Marsh. and not give him the comfort zone shots that he liked early on to get into rhythm. I think that we have to bowl him straighter. But other than that, I think that we again bowl well. We got wickets at opportune times and put immense pressure, on the Australians, especially with a score of 196 to defend. So it was a wonderful set of bowling by all of our bowlers, getting wickets at key times of the Australian innings. And it's something that we want to be repeated.
And Tino, we speak a lot about Fidel Edwards. He got a really good wicket tonight with that slow full toss. Courtney Walsh was very famous for bowling that. But then it seems like his efforts might have just injured him. Talk to me about that, because you would know about fitness and fast bowling. And also at the age of 39, which both of you are, you certainly must understand that you can't go all out these days anymore.
Well, Fidel
is Tony Gray laughing?
Well, I'm 40 in a few weeks, Barry, so I'm way older than Fidel. A whole year, a year and a half older than Fidel. But look, I thought Fidel bowled well. The first 11 deliveries, I saw that he looked good today. He looked fresh. It looks like a tricep tear. I could be wrong. I'm not a doctor, but looking on, I saw him holding his tricep. And for viewers, that's the muscle behind the bicep. So I honestly believe that if he tear that's a big blow for West Indies. I'm not sure how long you recover, depending on how severe the tear is. But I wish him all the best. But all in all, when you get a little older, you can take longer to recover from injuries. So I wish him a speedy recovery.
Yes, and Tino, let me give you the official injury. This is coming from Cricket West Indies. Fidel Edwards has a tricep muscle injury, and will take no further part, of course, in the match which we saw. But I don't know how long that will take to heal. It's have you had one of those injuries before? Is it something that in a couple of days he could be back out and running, or will that take a week or two?
I never had a tricep tear. I always have big guns, Barry. You see how big these guns are, Barry? these can never tear. These can never tear, Barry. But nah, I mean, when I was playing, I had maybe one injury. In 19 seasons, had a L4 lower vertebrae in the back, and that had me. I think they gave me a diagnosed me for like 13 months off. I recovered in about 6, and just sore ankles, a little tear in the obliques, but nothing major. But I always try to make sure that I was always fit, always hit the ground running. Even if I got an injury during the game, I always push through that injury because I just was a fit person. But at the end of the day, Fidel, I will obviously Google and see how long a tricep tear takes. I'm not a physio, but I will look and see. But I wish him all the best. I hope that he comes back stronger and fitter. And, he has a short window, and it is very unfortunate to get an injury at this time. That's the honest truth. I really feel for him.
For balance, Tony Gray, can we see your guns? We saw Tino's guns. I think it's only fair we see yours. I mean, do they matter?
I mean, no. I'm much older than him, but I still have some guns, yeah.
No, put those down. You're embarrassing yourself. Put those down. Wonderful stuff, Tony. Wonderful stuff, guys. All right, when we come back on tour, we're going to take in your WhatsApp messages. We perhaps listen to a couple of voice notes as well. The number's there on screen, and we'll definitely going to hear from you when we come back on tour right here on FlowSports.
Time to jump up, people, are you ready? Windies in the land, just put up your hands. It's time to jump up, people, are you ready? Windies in the land, just put up.
So welcome back to the last segment of On Tour as we continue to look at the West Indies victory by 56 runs there at the Darren Sammy Stadium in St. Lucia. You are a big part of this program and we love to hear from you. We've got voice notes, we've got video. We can't use the video today, but we use the voice notes, and we also take some messages. Let's go to the WhatsApp chat and see what the fans are saying. This first fan is from Grenada. And this is what he's saying. He's saying sending Bravo in was a very good move. I think it threw the Aussies off in terms of their plan. Well done. We need to show this kind of thinking. Do something different. We have good players. We just need to use them wisely. Bravo brought a different energy to the batting. Credo to him. In this format, we shouldn't be always too predictable. They expected Pooran to come in, right? That wasn't the case, and they got thrown off. Congrats to the team. Good all-round performance. Big up. That one is coming there from our friend there in Grenada. Let's go to another WhatsApp. Young and strong from Jamaica. Good night, Sir Tony. This is Leon from Jamaica. What happened to McCoy? Good all-round performance from the team. Hope that Puran can captain for the rest of the 2020. Well, I'm going to put that question to Tino Best. If you missed it earlier, Madam, the problem with McCoy was no problem with McCoy. He just was rested, which I found a bit strange. Tino, now on that point, your thoughts on resting McCoy and also what she's saying about keeping Puran as captain for the rest of the entire T20s. Your thoughts on that?
I don't have a problem resting McCoy. He's young. He might have a niggle. That's the honest truth. I don't think it should just rest him like that. But knowing how the setup is, sometimes a player may have a little niggle, and you just say, just take this game off and come back fresh. With Puran, obviously, she's suggesting that Puran captain the rest of the T20. Not at all, not yet. Once Pollard is fit, he has to lead the team. Puran still needs to get some runs with the bat and concentrate on batting at that number 3 position. I still think he should be batting at 3 or 4 very early, building the innings. He is a batsman, so I won't get carried away with the leadership. I don't want a situation with a Craig Brathwaite and Jason Holder situation. So just let's hold our horses and just take a step back.
All right, well said, Tino. Let's take in some voice notes now. We've got 2 voice notes. This first one is coming from Jamaica. Let's have a listen.
Yes, my name is Yue and I'm living in Jamaica. I'm a great fan of the West Indies cricket team over the years. And I just want to ask one question. If Chris Gayle is not performing throughout this series, not even this series, Chris Gayle is not performing up to par as we normally know Chris Gayle. You understand? Then what happened to the next Bravo? What happened to the other Bravo? Use the other Bravo and rest Chris Gayle.
Thank you so much, sir, for that. Let's take in another voice note. This one is from Bridgetown, Barbados. Let's have a listen.
Good evening, gentlemen. Wayne here from Barbados. First of all, I thank you for the opportunity that you've given us with this forum to talk with you guys. And I want to congratulate the West Indies on the victory tonight and the 2-0 lead. But my concern is, what are we doing with Chris Gayle? The universe boss has given us his best, but I think he's now past that and it's time that we pass him. Thanks, guys.
Well, thank you so much. I really enjoy hearing from you. Continue to send them in, and we'll obviously continue to listen and read them right here on tour. Well, the man of the match was Shimron Hetmyer. Let's get a quick word from him about his innings of 61.
Talk us 3 innings tonight from the time you got out there to the crease.
I would say it was basically similar to the last one. Well, similar to yesterday, really, but it was just a little bit pacier tonight because I had a good partnership building with myself and Brav, and then I was just basically just trying to knock it around and get myself going, starting to feel a rhythm and so on. It was just basically played like how the team really wanted me to play, because from practice and so on, I was told that I need to play the role of being the person that holds the team together going down to the end, in terms of just being there and just they're not really accumulating, but accumulating and scoring as well too. So it was just one that I would love to play again, to be honest.
So now that you've taken this approach and it's been successful for you, are there any lessons learned that you'll be taking forward from this match?
A few, yes. It was one is just to take time, because there's always more time than you actually think. Just to take it as deep as you possibly can and wait for your bad balls, really, because that was one of the things that I really did. But I think I did well, just waiting on balls that I knew I could have put away and then put them away. And even when I'm not hitting boundaries, just get a single and get doubles and stuff like that. That really helped me as well.
the team and particularly yourself clicked with the bat tonight. What was the difference from yesterday and even previous matches?
I think it's just partnerships, really. Like, even although we didn't have like a big partnership at the start, there was still some sort of partnership there. And then today we had a 100-run partnership as well. So I really think that in cricket, in batting as well, partnerships are always key in terms of setting a score and even chasing down a score.
Great stuff. Congrats to Shimron Hetmyer. Gentlemen, as we look ahead to the third T20, Tino, doesn't look like Fidel might be playing. Who would you replace him with? And I also put that same question to Tony Gray. Would he allow Chris Gayle to play in the third T20? First of all, Tino, you take it first.
If McCoy is fit, you bring back in McCoy. They said that he's rested, so I hope that he just had a little niggle. But if they want to give him more rest, look, bring O'Shane Thomas. He is a traveling reserve. He is arguably faster than Fidel. He's younger, he's stronger. And I hope that if that's the situation, you bring him in. No, I'm guessing also that if Fidel can't take part in the rest of the series, that you're bringing in O'Shane Thomas, let him get some of these games under the belt. But I expect the West Indies to be dominant yet again. When you got a team like Australia, beg your pardon, to beat, you beat them. And as Tony Howard says, sledgehammer and ants, do not let up. We can see that their batting is a bit depleted with Warner and the captain. But he's not the captain anymore, beg your pardon. In Steve Smith, you got to be aggressive, continue to play a natural game, and just beat Australia. I want to see West Indies beat them 5-love. That's the honest truth.
Tony, the last question is with you, Chris Gayle, and of course the West Indies. Any changes you perceive for match number 3?
Yeah, I think that Chris Gayle, obviously, the selectors have to make a decision on him, and I don't think that he should play in this series again. I think that you should give somebody another opportunity to get prepared for the World Cup, because these games are fantastic prelude for the World Cup. We have the remaining 3 games against Australia, and then we have 5 games against Pakistan. So Chris Gayle is out of sorts.
All right, thank you so much, Tony Gray. Earlier, of course, we heard from Tino Best. You've been watching On Tour. It's on to the third T20. Let's see if the West Indies, led by Nicholas Pooran, can continue their winning streak. I'm Barry Wilkinson. Bye-bye for now.